That's how we do it on this stream. Bold. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sitting up straight. Thank you. All right, everyone. We're going to run an ad before we begin. Right at 3:30. Here we go. Get it out of the way. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to NSL 6. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us for NSL Season 6, Week 5. Hello and welcome. How is everyone doing today? Thank you for joining us. We're going to have some great matches. Tier 3, Hyperion. And our first of the day is going to be Inside Job versus Pollo. Is everybody ready? Everyone excited? Spawning at the left position, it's our Terran player, Pollo. And spawning on the right side, it is Inside Job 911 USA, also our Terran player. Now, as we all know, jet fuel cannot melt steel beams. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two players match up. TVT, I'm just ready now. Well, I'm sure there's some Terran players who will appreciate this matchup. We, of course, have our starting structures. Looks like a supply depot right next to the command center. Hello, NiteKat. And another supply depot right next to the command center. Now perhaps this is to make the SCVs pop on the right hand side. And look at that, it is. So a little bit of a difference right off the bat. Just due to spawn positions. We have a forward barracks from Pollo, so perhaps a very quick expansion, blocking anything like some vultures coming in, just with another building here and something behind it. And we have the barracks in base from Inside Job 911. Gas taken as well on both sides. And as you all know, it is a TVT, so settle in. It might be a little bit before we see something truly exciting happening here. But that's okay. We're just getting going, and it's great to have you all. Looks like we're going to have a faster scout here for Pollo. First Marines coming out. Really nothing out of the ordinary so far. And he scouts his opponent first, which is always nice. This is the factory coming down. We scout it, and we're going to chase this SCV around. And on the other side, we now know where our opponent is, but we have no idea what he's doing. And the factory comes down for Pollo as well. A little bit of SCV harassment going on here. This is always super obnoxious, right? But when you have a Marine out, it's not too bad. And here comes the scout of Inside Job. So what's he going to see right off the bat? Well, the forward barracks, but no expansion yet. So nothing to panic about immediately. We didn't get in here and see that it was something crazy like a CC first. So we feel fine with this. That's okay. And that's a bit unfortunate, losing that scout very quick like that. Because now what's the follow-up going to be? We don't have anything else on the map for a bit. We're building a machine shop. We didn't get a vulture right away. So is it a CC or is it more factories? We don't know. But it looks like it is going to be a command center and ditto on the side of inside job. So we're going to go into a little bit of a longer game. And you are correct. We still have on gas here. And we have the machine shop on this side as well. Are we going to see a second factory right away? Still have gas on both sides. So what NiteKat is referring to is, in TVT you can sort of see the flow of the game by, after the first factory, do they keep 3 SCVs or do they go down to just 1? And we see if you go down to just 1 a lot of the time, you're going for a standard sort of macro play. If you leave 3 on, you might go up to 2 or even 3 factories for some early aggression. So that's a great thing to point out. So we have the first vulture coming out. We're getting mines to start. Looks like no upgrade started on the other side yet. We just got a tank just by itself. Perhaps going for a little push here as we add the second factory. But with this wall in at the front, I don't know if this is really going to do anything, or if we can just do a light contain. Sort of at this position here, get siege, don't let your opponent come out of the base. This is nice too, just having this here and seeing in advance what's here. Because maybe he chooses now not to do that, right? Seeing that there's a wall right at the front like that. So we have the second factory started for Pollo, which is going to be quite a bit behind his counterpart here. And we have mines on the side of inside job as well. So here comes this little push across the map. Oh, that's nice. Still one more though. Ooh, that is very nice when that happens. Now, I don't want to be that guy, but oh no. Oh no. Oh, this is an excellent response to this. But the 2 tanks, he didn't surround the tanks. Oh no. I think this is a catastrophe. Pollo just GG's after that. I feel like that could have been successful if he just moved the SCVs around the tanks, right? There was no damage done to them during that time, so that's a very sort of climactic end there. Bit of a crazy reaction to pull absolutely everything, right? Just to try to kill this when it's this far out, and you had a wall at the front with mines. But I guess that's what Pollo decided to do. Okay, well, our game 1 goes very quickly, a little bit unexpected for those who are used to a typical TVT. Sometimes they can go quite long, especially it seems on the first game of a series. So we have the inside job, taking the first game already. Okay, well, let's get going right into game 2. Inside job versus Pollo. Let's go. Okay, and in the bottom right, we have our Terran player Pollo. Currently down 1 game. And in the top left, we have Inside Job 911 USA. Feels good when you say it fast like that. Now, by the way, did everyone vote? Did everyone vote, make a prediction on who is going to take this series? I hope you did. I voted too. I voted Obama. Okay, so we see the same thing happening again with the supply depot right next to the command center. Apes permitted 2023. That's not the joke I was making. So this is going to cause the SCVs just to come out a little closer to the mineral line. It's a nice little thing you can do. It doesn't really cost you anything to do. It's just kind of a nice little trick. And again, pretty standard stuff. We've got from inside job here, we just have barracks right inside the base. And again, for Poyo, barracks on the outside. So just a little bit of a stylistic difference here. Kind of interesting to see, right? Gas taken on both sides. Not really any surprise there. And the scouts are coming up. Two ships crossing in the night there. Scouts pass each other, so they know their timings are essentially the same so far. And again, just that forward barracks. And I like this. Oh, but he lets him slip by. It was a good thought. I like the idea of trying to block the ramp there. So we know exactly what's going on. No surprises. We have a factory on the side of inside job. Just have it coming down a little bit later for Poyo. We get the scout. And I didn't see, but I think he got the scout on this side of the map as well. Okay, so we have an SCV down here for Poyo. Looks like we're going to be taking an expansion fairly quickly. Moving the barracks up here, perhaps going to make a full wall. That CC comes down. And our factories are just finishing up. Oh, interesting. He lifted it right away. I think he must have misclicked to make a machine shop. And a CC as well. Okay, so second factory for Poyo. Pretty quick here. Machine shop's almost finished. And no sign of a second factory yet for inside job. We start a tank right away. And on the other side, we start mines right away. So we're going defensive versus maybe a sort of soft contain with mines. But, I mean, we saw how that went last game, too. Ended very quickly, very suddenly. So we'll see what happens. And now the second factory comes down. Alright, so here comes that vulture. Mines, close to finish. Vulture and an SCV. Do we have a second vulture following? 3 vultures following. Okay, so what's the SCV for? Just to poke? Just to see how close he can get with the vulture? I think that's kind of the idea. Oh, and he gets into the main. Wow. That's very nice. Just to see what's going on here. This feels excellent when something like this happens. And we're just continuing to pump vultures here. See, okay, I kind of get what he's doing now. He might actually be looking to take a much later game here by just securing the center on this particular map, securing this bridge. Oh, but I spoke too soon. He forgot to secure one spot. The top has no mines, and he's gotten across in 2 tanks. This is going to kill these vultures unless he baits them into mines. Oh, he accidentally shot himself. Uh-oh. Okay, so continuing to pump vultures, and on the other side we've started to add our own. Siege is on the way. So the intention is still defensive here from inside job. And now we've taken control of this center area. So what I was going to say before was, when you control this center area on this map, trying to get across these bridges, the pathing with Brood War, it is damn near impossible. It is very difficult. So if you control this area, you can now control everything in the bottom quadrant of the map, and you get way more bases than your opponent. You just outlast them. So it can be very difficult to get around that. Maybe a mass dropship play, or maybe just sneaking around the sides if we don't have vision. We'll have to see. More vultures continuing to come up here, but still no speed finish. Looks like we have siege mode being researched instead. Armory on the way. Still just on 2 fact. And an academy for vision. And are we taking an early third? It looks like we may be. So based off the fact that we have map control, another factory added on the side of Poyo. Still haven't taken that CC though. And this Wraith here from Inside Job, I mean, this is slightly annoying, but really the scouting information is much more valuable than anything else he did there. Right? I mean, you've forced a couple of turrets, whatever, right? But you're not going to get any damage done with the Wraith other than that, really. Well, it looks like we're continuing to build them. So again, this is not incredibly threatening, but mostly obnoxious. However, this will force out the need for a Goliath. Hopefully we bring up here to sort of push this back. We don't want to let him move across the center here, right? That's his whole sort of stated goal with what he's doing. So there we go. The first Wraith goes down. Okay, so we need to prevent this from getting across this bridge. This is good. He's going to take out that tank, but he's got the other 3 coming down the side. Oh, and a nice little flank from the back. I think, unfortunately, with just 2 tanks left, he cannot continue this. Ooh. The mines. MVP. So back at home for both players. Continuing to macro on the side of Poyo. Adding another factory, another 2 on the side of Inside Job. Maybe realizing he needs a little bit more muscle at this point in the game. And I'm not sure about this, continuing to try to get past this. Yeah, it was pretty damn sick. Gonna lose control of this bridge. Okay, with the reinforcements coming up, we're good. We still have the intentions of a third, but it's not yet taken. I would love to see that go down. Same on the side of Inside Job, honestly. Both of these players are in a sort of stalemate for this center area, so let's either go around and do something, or let's start to macro a little bit. This isn't making any headway. Okay, and there it is. Third base. Third base. Perfect. So we have an upgraded advantage on the side of Poyo. looks like we have the armory, but it's not spinning. And this will start to snowball, right? If we get to 2 attack versus nothing, that's going to be a dangerous break point. Skirmish on the left side of the map, but nothing too exciting. Laying a few mines for vision, and we're going to see now, we've sort of bypassed this army, what our opponent actually has, right? So yeah, comes over here, checks for the 3rd. Perfect. He knows what's going on. Knows they're on even bases, likely. And there we go. We have the upgrades going now. We finally got Vulture Speed. Looks like we might have forgotten about it for a little bit. Okay, and both 3rd bases are now operational and running. Perfect. So where do we take it from here? One of these players has to come up with a plan to get across the map. 1 dropship? This is annoying, but this doesn't actually do too much. Does get out with the dropship, which is nice. So how do we break the stalemate? Well, we have more units coming up from Pollo. Hopefully he doesn't walk into these mines here. But perhaps I'm speaking too soon. That hurts. Oof. Okay, alright, 1 more. Okay, so we took some hull damage, but we didn't lose everything. Crisis averted. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us for NSL 6. Those of you who just joined. So it was a good attempt to try to continue to box your opponent in. But we pretty much have a free passage down here. And welcome back, everyone. My apologies for the automated Twitch ad. Not a lot we can do about that, but thank you for joining us for NSL 6. This is week 5, Apes per minute. There's Just Desserts, Hyperion Tier 3. Pixar's Elemental. I'm sure it was an excellent ad. Again, I apologize. A little bit of product placement there, you know, a little bit of advertising. Maybe they'll give me a side gig. Okay, so we're trying to push up this ramp. We only have 3 siege tanks and a Goliath up here. I think we can clear this, especially with the dropships. Pollo has secured this position for himself, and the walls are really starting to close in here on Inside Job. We have a 4th base being taken for Pollo. repositioning our forces, but it's just Goliaths in one tank. I mean, I think we can push right through this. Okay, and this position is broken with one siege tank over here. Not in siege mode. And this almost feels like an unwinnable position now that you've lost this base. You're almost mined out in your main. Natural is okay, but going down 2 to your opponent's 4 bases. And GG is called. Inside job, taps out. Okay, so nice little series we have on our hands. Tied 1-1. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna take the first game? You like that? You like that, Cookie? You like that? Yeah, I figured the pitchers were a nice addition. Okay, shall we get into it, everyone? The tiebreaker, Inside Job 9/11 USA versus Pollo. Let's go. That's right, this man, he can melt steel beams. In the top left, we have the CIA-sponsored Inside Job 9/11 USA. And on the right-hand side, we have Pollo with an exclamation mark. Now we're going to see what this final map brings. We had a bit of an abrupt ending on the first game. On the second game, we had a tug of war for map control, back and forth in the center. But for this final game, we have a bit of a standard sort of style map, right? So what are we going to see? Will this be the longest of the set, or perhaps something crazy will happen? Again, here we see Pollo with this little trick that we've talked about a few times now. Very nice. Now, of course, an early TVT, as we all know. There's a lot of time to fill with the sound of your voice. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in and really appreciate you all supporting NSL. It's an excellent tournament. It's been a lot of fun. Big shout out to Cookie Master for putting it on. A big shout out to everyone who's been involved with helping. From everything from the production, graphics, just the casting, promoting. It's been a great experience. Thank you very much, everyone. And it looks like in this game we might see a little bit more of the same. Still have this forward barracks coming down. That's Pollo's style. That's what he does. We always have it in the main here for Inside Job. So we have the two scouts passing each other. Again, nothing crazy going on that we need to... Oh my goodness, I didn't scout them first, right? It's been pretty standard games so far. Factory on both sides. We still haven't scouted our opponent from Inside Job. A last scout is kind of unpleasant, I will say that. Oh, and here we go, second factory. Now, I wonder, is this because he has not scouted his opponent yet? He doesn't know if that's coming down from his opponent, so he has to prepare, right? Now, thankfully for him, that is what's happening. So this was the correct decision to make, if it was in fact a reaction. So machine shop right away on the side of Pollo, and on the side of inside job, Vulture first. I definitely would associate Kirby's with Pollo's, you're right. Okay, and this scout getting in here, it is nice. He just verifies that he did make the correct decision. Looks like we might be sort of just faking here, or we wanted to fake that we were going to take an expansion, but the barracks floating over is quite nice. We see this moving out as well. I don't know about this engagement though. 3 vultures and 2 marines versus a tank, a vulture, and 4 marines. I don't see this going very well for inside job. Oh, especially not coming up this hill like that. Oh, this is dangerous. We're going to see if he commits to this and continues to push. We have another tank popping out, another vulture, so I mean, if he waits for that second tank, this is... Yeah, he has to retreat up the ramp. And unfortunately, he's researching speed. That's not going to help him very much in this situation. At bare minimum here, he gets contained. Siege will finish, and he will not be able to get out for a significant amount of time. Trying to push down that ramp, if you're in this area here, yeah, good luck. We need to start siege yesterday. If a Zerg were to use Parasite on Inside Job 911 USA's units so that they can clone spawn broodling, would that be considered an inside job? That's a great question. So where do we go from here? This is a rough situation. How are we going to break out? I feel like we have to get a starport and maybe ferry units down and attack from 2 angles. I don't see how else it can be done. And as we add, I'm assuming he's going to put turrets right here as well. This makes this even more difficult to get out of. A very precarious situation. And we do have a production advantage for inside job, but this ramp here makes all the difference. This is incredibly hard to deal with. And yeah, there's that turret. We have another tank joining, another turret back here. He's anticipating that perhaps he wants to drop on this or otherwise break out that way. I just don't see how it can be done at this point, though. This is a solid contain. I would love if he just expanded off this. Here we go. He tries to push down again. Oh, no. That might be all she wrote. Now you can just walk up. And GG is called. Pollo is our winner of the first series of the day. Good game, well played. From both sides. I'm not the biggest TVT fan in the world, but I enjoyed that quite a bit. Okay, now we are going to head in to our second set of the day here. Champion versus Nice Pants. I'm looking forward to this one, mostly because I'm jealous of Champion's really incredibly well done username in the Discord. But also Nice Plants is a very good player. Played against him a lot. It's going to be a really good series. And with that being said, I'm going to run a quick ad so we don't get interrupted in the middle of this next set, and then we will jump right into it. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad you put up with the wonderful Twitch ads for cancerous food and League of Legends flavor-based products. I'm not sure what that tastes like. But we're going to pretend that didn't happen. We're going to jump right in. Champion versus Nice Pants, Game 1. Let's go. Spawning at the 12 o'clock position, we have our Zerg player, Nice Pants. And at the dinner time position, we have our Protoss player, Champion. No, I let the message through. So what are we going to see from our Zerg player? In this matchup, really, in my personal opinion, Zerg dictates everything. So we're going to have to see what direction that this goes in. No surprise that we have a forward pylon here, pretty much the only way to play. But let's see what building it comes out. Is it going to be a forage or is it going to be a gateway? Gateway opening. I like it. I'm a big fan of gateway opening. Feels like you dictate a lot more of the pace of the game when you open with gateway, as opposed to opening with forage. Zerg controls the entire flow of the match. Yes, this should be entertaining. Now, no gas right away or anything like that. Perhaps he comes down pretty fast to drop the next structure, either a nexus or another gate. We'll have to see. We have the hatchery coming down, pool coming down shortly after. The first zealot is halfway done. Now, with just one gate, I mean, good micro, little bit of patience, you're fine. You know, it's something to deal with. It's kind of like a skill check, but you're okay versus one gate. You're not too scared of this as Zerg. But if you engage poorly, once they start to build up, once they hit about 3, I mean, you can lose all of your lings very quickly. You have to be careful. It's very precise how you have to engage this. So the second zealot almost done. The first is getting up to the base here. We're going to see what he does off the hop. Is he going to head straight up into the main? Is he just going to sort of hover a little bit at the natural until he gets another zealot here? We'll have to see. It looks like we're going to have our Nexus come down as this sort of fires up here. So we still have the probe harassing. This is nice. And he comes in with the Zealot. Probably just trying to put a little bit of damage on here. And he looks like he's even chasing that drone. Yeah, he targeted it specifically. Nice. And he gets one right away. Does he get a second? Okay, here come the Lings. He gets a second. This is already very painful here for our Zerg player. Okay, now second Zealot joins the fray. We've only had a little bit of hull damage. Oh, but this is a nice little surround here. So this initial sort of push out of the Zealots is going to get cleaned up. And really the question now is, how much do we continue? We have one here. We have another almost finished. But do we stop? Yeah, so it looks like Forge is going to come down. He's probably going to stop after this third Zealot here. One in a forward position to see, one to block. And if we did go across the map right now, we might have a bit of an opportunity. We could break this probe. But of course, it could also backfire on you if this Zealot pops out in the correct position. He brings another probe down. I don't know if that's fast enough though. Just 2 probes there. Oh, and he pulls it at a bad timing. Oh no. Ooh, very close. He manages to block that off. And this is nice. He's not targeting. There we go. Now he's got the target. But I think 2 little Lings remain at this point. Like, I mean, 3 Lings. You're not that scared of that. Okay, so what's the follow-up going to be for our Zerg player? Got a little bit more Ling for security. Got a drone. A little bit more Ling. And we've taken a third. Just now getting gas, though. On the side of our Protoss player, we still haven't laid down our sort of tech choice structure, but it should be coming any moment. We just need to get the gas. All right, the cannon is going to finish here basically right in time. Oh no. Oh, he doesn't have anything else here. Okay, well, with only... I think he's still fine, but... He'll kill the cannon, but still be okay. Oh, that was a little bit dicey. That's a little bit scary there. It's faking even me out. And I think our Zerg player sort of realizes from this point, okay, we need to macro. You're right, that will wake you up, Fuzzy Branch. No kidding. Okay, so there's that Stargate. A little bit later, but of course with everything that happened during the beginning of the game, that's to be expected. With the sort of game state that the Zerg is in as well, just having gotten their gas, less than 200 mined. I mean, this still feels like a very nice time. Everything's sort of shifted, but it's still very nice. Okay, and Hydras. I'm not going to let my Protoss bias come out and say, is anyone surprised? But, you know. Okay, so really nice timing. +1 is going. Corsairs are going. We're going to move out, looks like, with a little bit of Zealot. This can be very nice, too. Even just to show it to this Overlord. Move across that right, see, because there you go. He moved the Overlord, he saw it, he went, oh my god, Zealots! Now, does he build more Ling? Does he buy it and say, oh yeah, he's coming across the map? Hydra, Overlord. No. Looks like we don't buy it. But they are coming across the map. Now with this sunken here, don't really expect anything to happen. This is very nicely placed, decent SimCity. I would just back up, save the Zealots, right? You poked, you prodded, you saw what was going on. So, rather nice that we didn't build a bunch of units like that, right? We're just adding a safety cannon here. I totally understand this. This is a security cannon. This is a tuck me into bed with my special blanket cannon. Just in case. You just feel nervous when you see Hydra, right? You just in the back of your mind, you're just nervous. And we've got these two Corsairs here. I'd love to see just a big arcing flyby of everything that Zerg has. That would be very nice right now, and that would confirm whether we need to drop cannons or whether we can just continue into a macro game and get the next step in our tech. Here we go. Drones. The nice pants base sprawl begins. Yes, you're right about that. That is kind of a way he likes to play, isn't it? And we see that Zerg is taking their 4th base in the bottom left. So, 7 speed zealots moving across the map. I think with what we have at the bases, though, we're not too scared of even that. We have our sort of main rally here. 2 Sunkens and a couple of Hydras here. A little bit of drone movement, and you can hold on, even against these 7. When he comes up from the center sort of way here, possibly for the bigger ramp, so we'll see how this engagement goes. Is he even going to get the 1 Sunken? A little bit of a disjointed sort of engagement here. Realizes, okay, this is dead. Let's get what we can. Picks off a drone, gets a Hydra. But overall, unfortunate to throw our zealots away like that. But that's okay. Champion. He's taken his 3rd base during this. So that feels fine. He at least distracted the Zerg, kept him away from denying any sort of expansion for him. So feels very nice. It must be intimidating playing someone named Champion. I mean, when you mess with the best, right? Okay, and now we're going to see where this game goes from here. Both sides really not making any indication they want to move out and attack each other. Looks like at the moment we're just comfortable getting up to a later game army. Both players fairly close in worker count. A little bit of scouting going on, a little bit of panning out, poking and prodding, seeing where his base is. Normally this is done with Zerglings, not with Hydralisks, but if it works, it works. And we have the first real sort of move out beyond the initial early pressure from Protoss here. +1/+1 on both sides. Upgrades continuing. Yeah, see, and at this point, all you can really do with these is scout. You can't exactly stop somewhere to engage with mass Hydralisk. Okay, so 1 High Templar but 2 Storms. And we're not fighting very efficiently with our Hydras at the moment, so this is a little bit scary outside of our front door for a Zerg player. Hydra. And we got a little bit of Lurker. Okay, so no Observer here. So if we do bring a Lurker forward, only can be cleared with Storms. So we've got 1, we have another morphing over here, 2, 3. We don't have enough Storms to even clear 3 Hydras here. So we might just have to sort of hold this map position, keep control, possibly expand to a 4th, and shore up our detection before we can really engage. listen to that wind. My goodness, this desolate wasteland with the Brood War wind blowing across it. Just waiting for one of these players to fight another. I feel like it's almost, there's a metaphor in there or something, but I don't know what it is. Okay, so the first observer comes up now, but we still have to be very careful too. We don't have speed on our observer, and if an overlord moves up, picks that off, we're in the same position we were before. Okay, so is this going to spur an engagement from our two players? It's the time now. Looks like, unfortunately, we whiffed with that storm on the ramp and lost the Templar with one storm still available. And we have the reinforcements behind here that we haven't revealed yet from our Protoss player. How close are we to those upgrades being done? Pretty close. But if we camp outside this base a little bit longer, we're going to be at a upgrade parity again. And we're just now seeing the Queen's Nest come down for Hive Tech, so maybe realizing that there's not far to go from here until we get to the next stage of tech. Protoss is controlling the map very heavily. The Corsair is a nice touch. Try to keep the Overlords away, keep the Observers alive. We have our 5th base for a Zerg player, and our 4th base for a Protoss being taken. And it's funny because Protoss, if he knew, could just walk right up here, completely destroy this, but unfortunately he doesn't have any idea about this base. Alright, we're adding on quite a bit of Zergling here, but just now getting Hive, so we're not going to have Crackling for quite a while. Need to set our rally points, but we're pushy in. Taking out one of the recent expansions of Nice Pants. But really, you're okay with that. Nice Pants, he's waiting. He needs this hive to finish. It looks like we're doing a big drop here. We're loading up a bunch of units. Where is he going to go with them? We're going to sort of head over, maybe around this way where we know that there's safety and no opponent vision. Maybe drop on this natural here. Perhaps get up into the production area. That might be very nice. That's definitely one way to cripple a Protoss player. So here comes this drop. He's just going straight across. He has to be careful. You run into a storm here and some of these goons, that could put an end to that very quickly if your opponent has fast reaction time. Meanwhile, we have pressure coming from Champion down on the bottom left side of the base, but with 3 Sunkens here, a Lurker, Detection, a few Hydras, I think he's safe. Well, that being said, he brings his entire army, not just that small force, but here comes the drop into the production of Champion. Now, this will have to be dealt with right away. This needs to get out. And we're pushing into this bottom left base of Nice Pants. So it looks like we're trading bases here. I don't know if I would call it a base trade, but we don't have production for Protoss anywhere else on the map. And looks like now, even though they're not Cracklings yet, Lings still do a lot of damage. Especially to a Protoss army. Just Dragoons here. Where are the Zealots? He gets the Lurker burrowed up by the ramp. Oh, nice storm, though. There we go, and he does kill that Lurker, so Didn't get the storm onto the Lings like we might like, but we've basically crippled the production here. There will be no more units coming out. Our Protoss player must clear this. This army here, I don't think he can break all of these lurkers to kill our Zerg player with just that force. Hey, Chuggo-Eye. What up, buddy? Okay, and are we loading up again, potentially? This is a very serious strike against our Protoss player. We need to add production somewhere else on the map in case this happens again. Looks like we're moving across the map with our forces that remain. Excellent storm. Very nice trade. But when we get here, what are we going to do about this? I don't know if one High Templar of Storms is going to do it. And of course Nom is recruiting. Nom's for everybody. I'm sure there's some people in chat who could tell you all about it. And it even saves the Archon. 10 kills on that Archon. That's a Chad Archon right there. Another expansion coming down from our Zerg player. He's still expanding. He's making sure that even though this push is on his doorstep, he's continuing to macro, and that makes all the difference sometimes. Nice push into this base. We're gonna have to pull the drones and abandon. You're right. Oh, but Ultralisk, I don't know. The Ultralisk with 4 armor, not bad. Just restoring production now for our Protoss player, right? So these 3 still unpowered. And here we go, but is this enough? This is, yeah, he pulls back. This is not enough with these goons here. I believe they do full damage to Ultralisks. He heads across the map instead. Oh, and surprisingly, Ultralisks are not too fat to fit through there. Who would have thought? Oh, and that Dark Swarm. Now this is looking dicey. If we can get a Dark Swarm up here, that's it. So Protoss has to do something now. So he pushes in to the natural base of our Zerg player, Nice Pants, champion, making his last stand. Nice storms, but there's still more lurkers behind, and we're out of units. The other side of the map, the Ultralisks are ravaging the base of our Protoss player. And here we go. He has enough energy, I think. Bringing the Defiler. Do we need to eat something? And there we go. The Dark Swarm comes down in the main, and GG is called. Game 1 goes to our Zerg player, Nice Pants. What a great game 1 that was. That was fantastic. Okay, so game 1 goes to Nice Pants. Who's going to take game 2, you think? If you had to call it right now, based off the play of those 2 players, who's going to take game 2? You think Nice Pants is going to take it? I don't know, my boy. Champion, though. You think Nice Pants is going to take it? I don't know. You're just saying that because it's your favorite team. Get out of here. Right, you ready, everyone? Let's head into it. Nice Pants versus Champion, game 2. Let's go. Spawning in the dinner time position, the other dinner time position. It's our Protoss player, Champion. And in the bottom right, it's our purple Zerg, Nice Pants. Nice Pants is your boy, but Champ's gonna come out blazing this game. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. A champion doesn't go down like that. He might get knocked down, But let me tell you, he gets back up. Just like Rocky. Whatever number of movie they're on now, like Rocky 12, I don't know, but just like them. Now, ladies and gentlemen, during the first part of this game here, we are coming up in a minute and a half for an ad break, so I'm going to run it now while our players develop their early strategy, and we'll be right back. See you soon. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Jumping into this game, we have our Protoss player champion with a Forge Fast Expand. The Nexus just came down. And on the other side of the map, we have our boy, Nice Pants. He's got his expansion up, he's got his spawning pool, but no gas. The cannon come down on 16. The gateway should be added momentarily here. We've got Nice Pants taking his third base at a further away expansion. I like this move. Bit of a more defensible area here, I would say. Got a bridge, got this. This is a lot more open, a lot more angle to attack from, so I like that. Gateway should have gas for our Protoss player right away. Things are looking about as standard as can be. And this is nice too. This is a sign of someone who really reads a game even for the little things, right? A lot of players, especially at the lower sort of ranks, will make just 6 lings. Right when that pool finishes, 6 lings. That's it. 6 lings, doesn't matter. I'm making them. That's what I make. It's 6, and that's what I'm doing. But just having 2 come out here from Nice Pants, 1 to kill the scout, 1 to go up to the wall of your opponent, and then 2 more drones instead. And we see that third base finishing up. So we've got our 4th hatchery for macro. Just at the front here for our Zerg player. We did lose our Ling Scout up here, a little bit unfortunate. But our opponent doesn't really know what's going on right now. Champion had felt a little scared. He had kept 2 probes here for a block, just in case of some sort of crazy run-by were to happen with those 6 lings that were actually only 2. Okay, so if we're Nice Pants, what are we doing with our initial gas here? That's really going to be the question. We'll check back in a moment and see what he decides to spend it on. Stargate on the way, as well as an additional gateway. Nice. Hydralisk then, coming down for a Zerg player. And a 5th hatchery. So, what do you think we're gonna see here if we had to make an educated guess? we're going to have to see what upgrade he chooses. What he actually is going to go for. Whether this ends up being a defensive play. Or he goes very aggressive. Got the first Corsair coming across, which is going to get our initial scout off. And if we're champion, what do we see? Okay, lair, hatchery. We don't know how far along that lair is, though. Second gas being taken. Hydralisk then. We have a puzzle to put together and see what we're going to be up against. Now, nice pants coming across the map. 5 Hydras. We do only have 1 cannon here. But with 5 Zealots, especially with the Hydralisk being slow, you're going to kind of have to back up right away. Okay, and here come the cannons. However, we need a pylon. Oh, we added back up here, too. It is 5-hatch Hydra. Okay, and this upgrade will resume as we get power again. We have our Zealots out on the map. 8 Zealots. We're feeling very nice about this. Only 1 sunken is finished here. It's a little bit scary. We should have enough to defend, but we might take some losses if we push in here for our Protoss player. +1 almost finished. Might be wise to wait for that. Some more Zealots joining out here, coming out, so we're going to have 12 total. Okay, and here we go. +1 is finishing, just finished. We're moving across the bridge. It's a nicely timed attack. Heads to sunken right away. Good SimCity here. Pulling the drones. It's not enough, though. Looks like this base is going to be wiped out right off the bat by Champion. A nice move out here with the +1 timing. We have more Hydralisks streaming up for our Zerg player. We still haven't taken out the hatchery. We've killed everything else. We have to make the decision now. Do we fight or do we target the hatchery? Looks like we're going to fight, but a bit of a pause there. Oh no, we're not engaging. And I really feel if we didn't have those couple of seconds of hesitation and we just fought right away, he could have cleared this whole force and still gotten the hatchery. As it stands now, Zerg is bruised, but it's not unrecoverable. And we have another base in the top right that is already scouted and going to be taken out. Or perhaps not. And our third being taken for champion. Now, this still feels nice for champion. Don't get me wrong. We lost our Zealots there. We could have had a bit of a better engagement before. But we retained map control, and now that allows us to do this. We have a fresh base of drones here. Not enough Hydralisks on the map to do anything about it. Oh, and a drone transfer, too. Oof. Yeah, and he runs those out of there. And he just decides, not worth it, chasing the drones. Let's just get this hatch. Let's not make the same mistake as last time. But I think he genuinely did not scout this base up here. Okay, but he sees the drone transfer, so he should get the picture now. And we have a push in again to the third base of Nice Pants. Champion, he's taking the reins of this match. He says, I'm not going down without a fight. Looks like the third base of Zerg is also going to be wiped out, so now Zerg is very much on the back foot with this hidden base up here being scouted now. We have creep colonies, sure, but a few more zealots, and we're gonna eliminate this base too. Nice Pants, he needs a solution here, and he needs it quick. I don't know if Mass Hydra is gonna do it. And isn't that the best feeling? Just being Zealot, man. It is a good feeling, isn't it? A little bit of a counterattack by Nice Pants here. Coming up and hitting the third base of Protoss. These cannons are going to go down to this, so he needs to respond. 2 Zealots. He needs a little more than that. Additional Hydras coming up here, so this is a nice trade. Maybe this is how Nice Pants gets back into the game. Looks like he will take out this Nexus. Very well played. Very nice. We have a third base again being taken. Here comes the Zealot contingent, though. This is a full group or more Zealots. What do we actually have to stop this? 2 Sunkens, 4 Hydralisks. Even with blocking the entrances here, that is not going to be enough to stop this. He needs to bring his other army back. This needs to be coming home right now. More Zealots join the battle. They're now 1-1 as well. Hydralisk from his Zerg opponent, only +1 attack. Looking dire. That other army is now moving back, but more Zealots are tailing it. And these Hydralisks, this last force from Nice Pants, are going to get sandwiched between 2 groups of Zealots here. And look at them just melt. I think perhaps this game, our champion, Zealot Man, has come back and tied up the series. Oh, and stopping the Lurker upgrade too, incredibly painful. As these Zealots move into the main, GG is called. Champion takes game 2. So we're tied up. 1-1. Again. This has been a good day so far. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I want to see how this one ends. PvZ. It's kind of like the internal conflict. Never ends. We're going to jump into game 3. But first, we're going to run a quick ad break so we don't get interrupted in the deciding match of Champion versus Nice Pants. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, everyone. It's time. Game 3, Nice Pants versus Champion. Let's go. In the top left, it's our red Zerg player, Nice Pants. And in the bottom right, raiding us with his Protoss friends, NiteKat is introducing Champion. Thank you very much for the raid, NiteKat. Welcome, everyone, to NSL Season 6, Week 5, Apes per minute versus Just Desserts, Tier 3. This is the deciding game of Champion, our Protoss player, versus Nice Pants, our Zerg. And it's been a crazy one so far. These guys, they're a good match. This has been very entertaining. We're going to see here the sort of opening choice from our Protoss player. Is it going to be Forge? Is it going to be Gate? Second Overlord didn't build last game. LOL. Well, that was the last game. Let's see what happens this game. Surely that mistake won't be made again. It didn't make. The supply depot didn't make. And Champion opens with the gateway opening. Well, minerals, Kandrin crystals, any sort of currency, even in fictional universes, isn't worth as much these days. You should try living in Canada. God, everything's expensive. The first Zealot starts marching his way across the map for Champion. Side blades ready. Keeping this probe alive. We're seeing what our opponent's doing. Trying to see exactly when the firstlings are made. Because we're continuing. We're going to have another Zealot. We're going to be here by the time these lings actually start making. And here we go. Well, the gateway opening, it feels nice, but it can backfire. It can backfire very quickly. Takes a bit of subtlety to play it. Oh, and that's just unfortunate. Oh, is he going to get it with a moving shot? Oh, he doesn't even need to. Nice. So one drone so far. We have the second Zealot coming up here from Champion. Nice Pants. What is he going to do? Lings, 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 lings. All the lings in the world. But we're also going to get a Sunken back here. I like this decision. He just needs to not lose any more drones. Oh, a second goes down. He needs to get this up first. Then he can move stuff back here. We're going to get another one at the natural. Oh, nice. Nice catch on this first Zealot here. Didn't even lose the Ling yet. Very nice. Okay, and we have more Lings hatching. And the Sunken is done. So this is essentially held. But back on the other side of the map, Champion, he did not miss a beat. His Nexus, it's almost finished. So this little bit of pressure here. And take note, we're not really continuing. Sunken. Sunken. All these lings being built. We really hindered our Zerg opponent here. We don't even have the third being taken yet. Now on the flip side, sometimes bad things can happen if you don't get that cannon down right away, and you forced this reaction. Remember, we forced these lings. Oh, he's setting them up for failure. He's saying, I don't have lings. I made drones. Are we going to break the front here? And that cannon just started now. Nice little block, but isn't enough. We're still going to lose some probes for sure. Now that was very nice glitching. You know, I want to just we got to clap for that one. That was a thing of beauty right there from Champion. Worst says, don't play Gate Expand until you're at least B rank. It's so fun, though. So where do we develop the game from here? Zerg just taking their first gas. And what's going to be the game plan now? About even on workers. But Protoss, we have that Stargate already coming down along with the Citadel. And our extractor's halfway done. Worst is a good teacher, I'll tell you that. Helped me very much in learning to hold 973. Big shout out to Worst. I'm sure he could teach you that too. Okay, so +1, legs, Corsair. I'm loving it. A healthy probe count. We're continuing to build. On the side of our Zerg player, another hatchery going down. Starting to get some drones. We did get another pre-colony here. Going to turn it into a sunk for safety. So maybe just feeling a little bit on the back foot now. Perhaps rightfully so, if we knew the game state of the Protoss at the moment. And we're taking a fast fourth, trying to catch up. Makes sense, right? We got to do something. After that sort of initial opening, we weren't at where we wanted to be in terms of development, so we have to do something. And the Corsair sees everything that's going on. So we have our first little contingent of Zealots moving across the map. Of course, that would have been seen by this Overlord, which is now going to come under fire from the Corsair. Now, we saw the same sort of idea last game, right? Is this going to force units? Well, it looks like this time it forced a little bit more. Speed is finished. +1 should be following pretty close behind here. This base is free. But of course, we know that's not our third base, that's our fourth base. So it looks like we're willing to let this go, just to delay the opponent. Which sometimes that can be what you have to do, right? You have to sacrifice something like this so he doesn't walk over here before you're ready. Adding some more Sunkens for defense. Kind of cute little positioning on this one. I like that. Just walk some units right here. And we have our third base coming down for Champion. +1's now finished. 7 Zealots. Are we actually going to engage? Or are we just going to pretend? Looks like we're going to join up with our other forces. And just get this base established. And we're just roaming the map. Keeping map control, feeling comfortable, seeing what's going on. It's a nice way to play as a Protoss player when you don't feel pressured by things right outside your front door and you can move freely. Looks like we chose to go with an Archon right away. We have the Scouting Hydralisk, a classic. Looks like more were fanned out, as we saw in the previous game. Kind of a neat little quirk from Nicepants there. Again, usually done with Zerglings, but he chooses to do it with Hydralisk. Why not? It looks now we're thinking about re-expanding to a new 4th. But this is a sizable Protoss force. Oh, Nicepants? Nicepants, he lives the expanding life. That's how he plays every game. It's like his trademark. Okay, here we go. Nothing to stop this from being taken out. And this is very obnoxious, too. Just 2 Corsairs, but still, does the trick. He needs to back up with these Hydralisks, especially with this Archon. It's a little too late. We block most with the Zealots from retreating. You took him to rehab for his expanding addiction? Okay, bro. Alright, we're going to have +1/+1 momentarily for Champion. Following right behind, we'll have +1 attack for Nicepants. Now, if this keeps happening, though, keep in mind, he's already at his 4th base. Denied twice. This continues to happen. Things like this, these 6 Mutalisks, this isn't going to save you. This is annoying, but not deadly. Sees the incoming Hydralisks. Kind of throw, yeah, there we go. I was going to say, kind of throwing away these Zealots, but that's good. He backs up, regroups his forces. He has redistributed his probes, so that's very nice to see. Now we do need some more goons here, or just a very juicy storm. The cannons here are a big help. That's just going to thin out these numbers. I would love to see him engage as they're on top of this. Yeah, and here we go. So the cannon DPS adds actually a decent amount. It could be more than you think sometimes, and his army is split. So it looks like we're not going to hit that critical mass of Hydralisks, and we're going to lose all this. Bit of a scrappy engagement from our players, but Champion comes out on top. Very nicely done. Okay, so what is the follow-up going to be? We have finally established this base, but we're not yet mining from it. Drones are coming over. The drone count is definitely scary. When I said Nice Mark, his trademark is he's addicted to expanding. Nicepants. This is why he does it, because he just powers up. If you let him get away with it for any amount of time, it can get scary very quick. Now, fighting on this ramp like this, not the best of ideas. We have thinned out the mute account, though, so pretty nice. More units streaming across the map, maybe going to make an attempt at this natural expansion. And I mean, I guess actually we have traded reasonably well over here. A little better than I thought we would, considering there was the Archon. More hatcheries being added. No Queen's Nest yet. 5th base taken. Well, we got some storms. We got storms a little bit. See, and this is where it starts to get a bit out of control, isn't it? Here we go. Another base coming down. Getting a little bit scary. We've got a lot of units around. Perhaps this is going to be a bit of a drop here. Don't know if that's a rally or if he's going to load this up. Now this Protoss force well, relatively high in tech. I'm not sure if he's going to break this position if he loses reinforcements. We have to see how fast our third player, NiteKat, reacts. And he just chooses to abandon it. Just leaves. No effort put into it because he's here. Soon he'll be here and here. And I don't think this can actually push much further if he were to move his forces. And even expanding right next to his opponent. Hello? Nice pants. No fear. Small push of Hydralisks coming up to the natural expansion of Champion. Nothing here to defend. He's going to get in on top of this right away. The entire army starts moving back. If he can, he should block this from getting any further in. These cannons doing nice DPS to hold this off. Might end up throwing all of these away for basically nothing. We haven't really gotten probes, just a little bit of structure and units. Oh no! Oh no! Both players recognizing the unfortunate situation that sometimes just occurs. So, I mean, we have had a lot of our units lost in this engagement, and Protoss is up almost 50 supply. But are you going to break the natural? Unlikely. You're going to have to hit one of these bases. There's 3 Sunkens behind. The army can move across. So I would love if we actually just went up here and killed this. We know about it. We have Corsairs killing Overlords. Let's see where we choose to engage. It looks like that's the decision that's going to be made. Now, is this going to be for a flank, or is this just simply to distract? Killed that BM base, but here we go. Protoss moving in while the Zerg army is across the map. Hypetech not on the way. So this is wiped out here because Zerg just they're on the other side of the map. There's nothing here. It looks like just we're gonna expand again. We're gonna sacrifice this. And GG is called. Good game. Well played. Champion is the champion of this series. 2-1. And that brings us to our final series of the day. Bed cover versus NiteKat. That's right. It's bed cover backwards. Spawning in the bottom right position. It's Revoke. It's Mr. Bed Cover. And at the 12 o'clock position, it's Nom's very own NiteKat. NiteKat, thank you for the raid. No more ads, Mr. Anderson. I'm too European for this. Are you getting American ads? No, oh, just regular ads. Oh, well, my apologies. I'll try to make them more American. Now, for me, personally, this is my favorite matchup. I've been waiting for this one. NiteKat, I have not seen play before, but we have casted our Protoss player in the past. And I feel, for me personally, as a Protoss player, this is the funnest matchup in all of Brood War. What about you guys? What is your favorite matchup in all of Brood War? You hate PvT? Well, I hope this match went well for you. Lion says ZVT. ZVT is a fun one. That is a fun one, too. And yes, Fuzzy, ads are everywhere. It's inescapable. Oh, ZVT is a blast to watch. It looks like both of our players opting for fairly standard openings on this initial game 1 of their matchup. Yeah, ZVT is Starship Troopers. Did you ever play when you were a kid, when you were younger, playing Brood War all the Starship Troopers maps? That brings me back. Now, Worst, did you teach him any of this? Is there one of your lessons in here? Alright, well, we're going to see how he makes out. Aw, thanks, buddy. Okay, so we have our natural expansion being taken for a Protoss player. 1 Goon out, 1 Gate expand. Very nice stuff. And the factory's finished up for our Terran player. Looks like we're opting for an early Vulture, pushing out with 3 Marines and an SCV to take our natural. Nice stuff. This Dragoon's going to walk across the map. He's going for a stroll. Alright, so the Vulture pops out. Perfect timing. Yeah, going to take a little bit of shield damage, but we decided, let's not stick around here. We need to back up. And we're going to get this scout taken out on the other side of the map. So Terran is now in the dark. And in response, we're going to slip out this Vulture. Yeah, something like confirming the command center it's huge, right? You just feel a lot more comfortable. Got our transfer here for our Protoss player as the natural expansion Nexus finishes up. And a bunker coming down for NiteKat on the opposite side of the map. Mines on the way and a tank. Range, halfway done. Yeah, you like that play? Spicy? And the command center finishes for NiteKat. Things are probably going to take a bit of a slower pace for a while. So during this time, I just want to tell you all again, thank you very much for tuning in to NSL. Season 6, Week 5, Apes per minute versus Just Desserts. Thank you kindly. It's been a pleasure having you all here, and I hope you're enjoying the games. And it appears we intended to take a rather fast third, but we are blocked. Fortunately, though, we have an observatory, and an observer is on the way. With the second factory coming down from NiteKat. Getting our comsats. Just playing defensively. Very nice. It's a great way to play Terran. Because we know what's going on, right? We scouted this intention here. Yes, I am playing in single player. You are correct. Interesting little factoid for everyone. Okay, so really, we just want to get this third established at this point. That's our sort of main goal here, and then we'll decide where we're going to take the mid-game. Third factory coming down. Observer sitting dutifully right over top to let our Protoss player know exactly what's going on. But that time has come to an end. Still have a decent idea of what's going on, though. Still have a unit out front. We're finally going to be able to take this third base. Now, think of how much that was delayed, too. Right? We initially came out here wanting to take this just a little bit before 6 minutes. That hurt. That was very painful. So that one mine really paying off. $300 APM like a fucking boss. Okay, and we have a Stargate coming out. And we have a Templar Archive. So it looks like we are going to Arbiter. That's my favorite way to play. I'm not much of a carrier man myself. I'm a big fan of Arbiters. And we've got a Starport out. So it looks like we're going to go for EMP as a counter. Nice little setup here. Healthy amount of units. A little bit on the map. Just clearing mines, taking map control. Nice SimCity on the third. Everything's looking very nice. No. This is an Anderson Arbiter timing. And we see everything that's going on. Our Terran player knows exactly what's up. So our response is we're going to take a third. Now this is going to telegraph the intentions to our Protoss player. And right now, you got to get on the map. As Protoss, you're thinking, if he is going to push, I need to delay this. Or if his intention is just to take the third, I need to delay that too. Ideally, you don't want to be 3 base versus 3 base versus Terran. You would want to be up probably 2 bases in an ideal situation. Okay, so here we go, delaying that third base, right? This is just what we were talking about. This is very... Oh, is he going to go for this? Can he get it? That would be huge, but it looks like it's going to get out of range in time, so we've just taken a lot of damage on our Dragoons. I feel like I would have made the same play, though. Very nice. Would have been huge if we could have taken this out. And we're establishing our 4th base. I think now just sort of realizing the intentions of our Terran player. wave of Zealots coming up to join this goon-heavy army. +1 nearly completed. But double upgrades on the side of our Terran player. And that third, it's down. Just need to move some tanks over. But still, even if you were to push into this, lift off again, that's gonna hurt. And here we go. The Arbiter on the way. More Stargates being added, going up to 3 and adding a fleet beacon. So it looks like we're transitioning right away. Stasis also almost finished. Nice stuff. But Terran's going to be entrenched here. And this is frightening. When this starts to become a reality on full production, that's when this matchup gets a little tough for Protoss. Already have +1. Air stuff already started, so it looks like we're fully committing to this. Now this is a big force, but you need to spread this out before you engage if you are going to try this push. If you get sort of funneled around this and things attack in a V, that is not going to go well. That being said, I personally would not want to push into this anyways. Wow. Here we go. Arbiter's coming up. But we don't have energy. Scan goes down. Zealots are on top of the tanks. A little bit of the goons are targeting the building though, and we actually pull back here. I feel like that might have been a bit of a misplay. I think that engagement should have been won by Protoss. If we had just moved the goons up, there is a huge amount remaining. Welcome back, everyone. Big, huge shout out to Champion. The champion himself, subscribing with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for supporting me and NSL 6. And thank you to everyone who's watching. My apologies for the ad break mid-game. I could not have it skip any longer. So getting back into this game, we have the 4th now being taken by NiteKat. That engagement we pulled back from, we are now on a max supply army from bed cover. And here we go again. Well, we're building carriers and arbiters at home. If we can continue to whittle down the Terran army, unsieged here, if we engage right now, if we see this. Oh, but look, we're going to get funneled around this again if we push forward. Need to move our groups. Still, the force from Terran is rather small. Nice defense matrices. This is going to hold off the Protoss army while Terran continues to bring more reinforcements forward. Here it comes, Goliaths and tanks, and all of a sudden, we have held this. Fantastic. That was legit. The first carriers are starting to come out. Now, perhaps you might get a little bit of an indication of what's going on if you haven't already scouted it by the upgrade count from our Protoss player, right? You're sitting on 2-1. They're still just +1. That might tip you off. We have 2 arbiters here, but we're only just getting enough energy for spells. And this push, it's scary. There's a lot of Goliaths, so we can't bring anything to help right away. And here we go. Nice stasis. Zealot ball still pushing forward. And I think with that stasis there, we've actually cleared this. Beautiful engagement here from our Protoss player. Okay, the Arbiter goes down, but we can't hold this front line. We need to retreat versus this force. And even though we've sort of come around a little bit here and taken this out mid-map, this is not feeling like a very nice position for a Terran player. We even have another base being taken by Protoss. Here we go. So how are we going to engage this? We're right over top of Terran's production. And how do you walk a bunch of Goliaths into here? This is difficult to deal with. We can start with an EMP on the carriers. But where do you go from there? We're going to see how NiteKat's going to deal with this here. Is our response to move across the map? It's like when mutas attack you. Just go fucking kill them. This will force them to pull the carriers back away from that position and respond to this incoming threat. Counterattack with a large group of vultures, but there's carriers here too. Carriers and cannons. He doesn't even send them. He doesn't even stop them. They have a mission. The ground army will clean this up. The carriers continue to fight these bottleneck Goliaths on the other side of the map. Bed cover. A strong push of carriers here after a very nice series of engagements in the mid game. Looks like he might be poised to take this one. You and me both, brother. I can't micro him either. So the ground army's coming up to join up with the carriers here. And with such a supply differential at this point, we can't afford to be pushing out onto the map like this. We have to play a defensive position. Bleeding a little bit of units, but does it really matter when we have 8 carriers? Did you just call a move a slur? Small bit of units coming down to the bottom of the map to try to put pressure onto the space, but there's still a sizable ground army here from bed cover 2. The carriers are not the only threat. This is still a lot to deal with for just 6 tanks. Is this the play? He knows where the Goliaths are. Carriers are not taking the bait. I think his intention was to try to lure some of the army down here and sweep around with the Goliaths to pick off carriers that might have been responding, but he didn't fall for it. This might be the final engagement of this game. Up almost 80 supply, bed cover. He looks poised to take this with his army of dragoons and carriers. Defense matrix is used. And now over doubling his supply. The Protoss army is marching forward. And GG is called. That was an exciting one. That was really well played. I quite enjoyed that match. The engagements were particularly pleasing in that match. That was a treat. Thank you, guys. Okay, so game 1 goes to bed cover. Bed cover versus NiteKat. Game 2, we're going to jump into right now. In the top left, it's our Terran player, NiteKat. And in the top right, it's the man who's going to tuck you into bed. Bed cover. Oh, there's a whole world of bad jokes you can make with that game, with that sort of username. You're going to tuck them in. You're gonna put them to sleep. You're gonna fold them like a blanket. There's a lot of things that could be said for a man with the username bed cover. And of course, I want to give a big shout out to all the players today for putting on these excellent matches for us. It's been an absolute pleasure to cast your games. And I thank you very much for participating in NSL. Okay, so what is this game going to shape up to be like? We have a fast gas here from NiteKat. Nice little sim city to protect against any zealot pressure. Not going to get much done when you have this set up. It looks like we have probably a 1-gate expand. Or are we going 4? Okay. What? Dutch oven? Don't talk about that on stream. Shame on you. We're trying to watch your games here. So we have the scout from our Terran player. Unfortunately, we're going to scout Protoss last, it looks like. Protoss, being the Protoss Chad that he is, says, you know what? Scouting. I don't need to scout. What do I need that for? And we've got the factory coming down. So really, for game 2, fairly standard from both sides. Nah, scouting's overrated, man. Scouting's for nerds. Protoss players, we don't even practice. Right? That's what everyone says. We just like sit at the beach and then show up for a game or two, do whatever we want and match and win, and then, you know, go back and... A bunker rush that would beat a Dragoon Scout. I'm gonna have to check that out. Well, we've got the Chad Dragoon just stepping right up here. No fear. A little spider fella. Just putting a little bit of pressure. Confirming that the command center's coming out from our Terran player. And we're going to take out this scouting SCV. No, I want to check out this bunker rush now. I'm interested. I want to see this. Okay, I hope he posts the video then. The ones that he's put up of him playing against snow are quite enjoyable. That must be like the curse of Artosis' life, right? He could probably be a lot better player if he didn't have to have a text-to-speech thing on his stream to feed his family. You know what I mean? That must be his own personal hell, and he chose it for himself. It's kind of amusing in a way. Oh, absolutely. I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying it is a amusing situation. So we have mines finishing up for NiteKat. Second factory in an armory. Got our Robo on our 2-gate with our observatory. For bed cover. Looks like now we're going to take our second gas. And the vision is being established for NiteKat, getting these mines out here. This is very nice when the goon is in front. You're potentially going to walk right backwards into this and lose this goon. And there we go. So a very nice play. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, NiteKat. We have our Citadel coming down. And soon we gotta make a decision here soon as our Protoss player, right? Where do we take the game from here? We would really like to start thinking about a third base. It would feel good right now. Third factory. Couple of Goliaths. I guess anticipating a Reaver drop. All right, now are we going to scan? Yep, absolutely. Very nice. Okay, so we see what we see, our Protoss player. But the question is now, do we throw down more factories? Right, we've denied that vision. Do we go for it, or do we just continue down and get a third base? We have quite a worker advantage for our Protoss player as well, so perhaps an aggressive play might be the way to go. There's not a lot in the way of actual defenses for a Protoss player. And taking this third on the other side of the map, a couple of cannons down here, that's not going to hold a even semi-dedicated push. I agree. You know what? Terran should actually just have vision of the entire map, right? Because they have like battle cruisers in orbit, so it's kind of like Google Earth, right? So there shouldn't even be a fog of war for Terran, right? So a bit of a slowdown to the pace of this game. Waiting for the next stage of tech to come out. Free vision to the entire map. I think that's a good trade to not make one SCV. That's a typical Zerg opinion. Alright, so we've got our second armory, science facility. We're still just chilling on 2 base. Protoss, they've established the 3rd base now, +1 on the way. Little move out here, just very standard, very safe from both sides, right? Playing for a longer match. Man, could you imagine if Overlords started with the ability to carry stuff, the change in the metagame, the shift of strategy? Okay, so we have a bit more forces being built up by our Protoss player. Our Arbiter Tribunal is almost finished stasis. And really that's what we're going to have to wait for before we make any sort of a move here to stop the Terran from taking another base. Right, as it stands right now, this ground army does not need this army. Especially with some mines in front. And the Vultures here, ready to pull right up and block. And Bedcover, he has intentions to take this free 4th base back here. Well, Terran is posturing to take a 3rd. I like this too. Adding a 2nd forge. Very nice. Okay, so the 3rd is landed. And now we're going to see how NiteKat is going to bring this game back and going to tie it up 1-1. That's really the objective from here, right? So we have 3 bases. What are we going to do with it? So we've got our factory additions going up. We've got our upgrades spinning. On the side of Protoss, we don't have a spell on an Arbiter yet. And we're very goon heavy. So we feel very comfortable here. Thank you very much, everyone, for helping me meet the 100 follower goal. It's very kind of all of you. And thank you for supporting NSL 6. So we have the 4th base almost established here for Protoss. Move out of units across the map. Still a little scary in this bottleneck, though. I would hate to be caught off guard here with a move out. Alright, here we go. The next stage. Protoss needs to establish a 2nd area of production. It's a very common thing to see, but this will help immensely if Terran begins to push across the map with a large move out. And honestly, we're getting to the point now, like Terran, we're at 150 supply, right? Protoss just maxed out, but we're already at 150. This feels scary. You need to do something almost right now, or if Terran gets a little bit higher and you have to trade, they get across the map before you have enough to deal with what's left a lot of the time. We're going to have to see how this engagement goes. Looks like here we go, we're posturing. Arbiter's coming in, enough for spells. Let's see where the stasises land. That's okay. Would have liked another clump of tanks though, and this one doesn't quite have enough for a stasis. I think he was intending to put one here. And the zealot count, it's completely reduced with all of these vultures not even being in the fight. Now we're gonna have to see how NiteKat chooses to proceed here, right? This is sort of the moment that I was just speaking about, is do we now move forward before Protoss can completely remax again? This is just goons, right? One zealot. It's a lot of tanks. And we still don't have this established from bed cover here. We need to get these gateways up. +2-1 for our Terran player, but only +1 for Protoss. It looks like we were trapped. Nice defense here, just not allowing any sort of vulture pressure to go down. So this feels very good. Oh, and it looks like we got fished a little bit here. I am not sure about this engagement. Stasis goes down. That's a good stasis. Good one here, too. We got the science vessel. A little bit of a mind drag. Not bad, but we're going to get cleaned up, right? We traded, but it, again, now it's getting a little more scary again, isn't it? Now we're even with Terran. And we got a gateway. Bed cover, you've redeemed yourself. Here we go. Now we're establishing this other production area. This is what we got to see. Fantastic stuff. Folks, well, we have this little bit of lull in the action, so we can finish this game in peace. I unfortunately must run a Twitch ad right now and pay the bills, or we are going to get interrupted in a more climactic part of this match. We'll be right back. Wow, incredible stasis. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to NSL 6, NiteKat versus Bedcover. While we were away, 2 incredible stasises went down, delaying the Terran army from pushing across the map, but Protoss has been whittled down, and we are almost on max supply versus max supply. Looks like we're setting up for a very large flank. Can we make this work? Nothing blocking the Zealots from getting on top of these tanks. There we go. Siege mode is activated. We have the reinforcements coming up. We have another tank blob back here. So even though the Protoss is pushed in, this may not necessarily be repelled. And here we go with the reinforcing siege tanks on this little high ground here. I think we've baited Protoss into expending more of their resources than they intended. (3-2) for our Terran player and 2-2 for our Protoss player. The remaining upgrades, only one is going. We're continuing this push forward here from NiteKat. Oh, excellent stasis. Now there's not a lot here, but this is going to do some damage for sure. Reinforcing units coming out of the gateways. Oh, the scan being a little late. We could have gotten a large hit on those Dragoons there. We might have been able to clear quite a bit more. Wow, and this game has just been a slugfest. There have been so many trades so far. And look at this. We now have Protoss getting up onto their 5th base. And I believe this is going to go uncontested. We have 2 Vultures and 2 Siege Tanks coming down here. But we do have gateways and a few units. Stasis comes off for these remaining tanks up top, and they are cleaned up. And we've taken this high ground position, but we need to get more units up here. I think just in the sort of chaos here, a couple of probes got cut up with this. That's kind of cute. All right, so another slow build-up. I was looking for it myself. I heard goons. I didn't see anything happening though. Yeah, in this high ground position, we don't have enough at the moment to get close to this. But our 5th base for our Protoss player is established. We have some defensive cannons to stop any Vulture run-bys, and I believe this has not even been scouted yet. In this game, we have not yet made the transition to carriers. We're still very heavy on Arbiter. Could potentially add something like that down here. Ooh, unfortunate. Maybe just a bad rally. All right, and a bit of a slowdown in this game. We had some very aggressive actions, but now we just have both players trying to take more of the map. We've got an additional 2 bases sort of established now for Terran. Nice map control on this ridge. And, you know, I mean, this isn't really protected. There's just a small wall, but I feel if Protoss were to come down here right now, by the time they got into this, they would have a huge flank with Terran. But here we go, Terran moving forward. Let's see how the spells land. Nice EMP. Where's the second? Not the greatest stasis in the world, and the High Templar have been picked off right away. So we're forcing a retreat out of our Protoss player into his 3rd base. Or rather, 3rd base location. Okay, so again, even supplies. There we go, and there's that final 3rd upgrade. Oh, and we have all these units trapped here. We need to make a path here. We're going to have to check back up on this. Because right now, Protoss is scrambling. I mean, if we have these additional gateways bringing us units and we weren't trapped, we could sort of flank from another angle and pick up reinforcements or something as well. Alright, this is probably the scariest timing in the game that you can go through. PvT, how do we engage this? Here we go. No energy, first spell. Arbiter will be killed and we have no more invisibility. Storm goes down, but it might be a little too late. Clean the first batch of tanks, but we don't have enough to continue pushing into this. More Vulture reinforcements coming up. Gonna shore this up, lay some mines. And now we have a position. This is incredibly difficult to break when you're the Protoss player. That's why we need to get this out of here. More gates and get this out of here so we can mass and flank with what we get from here. If you just push out from one direction, this can be very difficult to get out of. Now we're probably going to see as well a little bit of the refugee Protoss here, as Protoss is now taking the bottom left in addition to everything else. Okay, nice. The Zealots walk out for free. Fantastic. Defense Matrix comes down, but yeah, just the Vulture's out of position, like NiteKat said. If we had that initially, this contain would not have been broken. Now that puts Terran in a bit of a rough spot, right? I mean, we have Protoss starting to claim the bottom left, and very easily this could be destroyed once Protoss knows about it. This foothold in front of here by Terran may actually work to his advantage. Protoss can get out finally. That is a lot of Storm. Oh, let's go. Let's go. I don't need units. I don't need units. Just use energy. And this light contain will finally be cleaned by bed cover. So where do we take this from here? Obviously, this is our first priority to deal with, but we are getting to that split map scenario now. I think the next step for a Protoss player might have to be carriers. When you're fighting against a Terran that's 3-3, that's not a nice place to be. Okay, so we know the Protoss army is on the other side of the map, so we've moved more into position as our Terran player at the Napful of Protoss once again. This is a nice little back and forth, but the army's coming back up after having cleaned this other force. This may get sandwiched in between two sides. Reinforcements en route. Or perhaps going to the new expansion in the bottom. So now what do we decide to do? These bases are running out of resources. Should we commit to defense down here and let this go? Nice storms. Let's have our cake and eat it too. Bed cover clears this contain, and now he can deal with the bottom left of the map. Kille says fatigue might be settling in here for our players, and you know, I tend to agree. We're now 27 minutes into this game. This has been an absolute slugfest throughout. These guys, you know, to use the sort of Rocky comparison from before they got hard, they're not going to tap out so easily. They play to the bitter end. Oh, absolutely, right? Yeah, that's a factor a lot of people don't talk about, right? Not even just the mental state of playing a game this long, but yeah, your hands after a while. Here we go, excellent engagement. Nice storm. think, unfortunately, the Storm bled a little bit too much onto the Zealots there, and if we had just spread them up and down, we might have been able to secure that. As it stands now, though, we have Zealots pushing across the map, trying to repel these vultures. And we've lost this base. So now we're down to 1, 2, which is almost out. 3 mining bases, and there's nothing at this one. We are almost out of resources. And this is where Terran can start getting very cost efficient with siege tanks. So again, we have this position established for NiteKat. This just feels like a bulwark that Protoss cannot cross under any circumstance. Yes, these mines here, Vile, have been here almost the entire game blocking that. And ironically, that might work out in Bedcover's favor, because he is going to have a completely untapped base here. Whereas our Terran player, out, almost out, new, but this is going to be the point of contention. If we simply go around the Terran army, maybe we can get something done here. All right, here we go. Terran repositioning. The Zealots are coming up. Can we get some good spells? We need some good... Excellent stasis. Another excellent stasis goes down. Storm's on top. Protoss giving it everything he's got. A very close engagement. Another excellent Storm. God, Protoss is trading like a madman. That was about as good as you could have hoped for with the force that he had. That was amazing. Wow. All right, Terran. I think he smells blood in the water. He scans this base, sees it's empty. He feels like he just traded a large portion of his opponent's units. But are these Storms going to continue to work their magic? That's really been what's keeping our Protoss player in the game from here. Imagine a Storm on this clump. Like, again, back to holding the ridge. But Terran, he's now secured this bottom left side of the map. Protoss, we can't hang out here forever. We need a little bit more down here, and we need to shift our focus, I think. It looks like perhaps Bedcover agrees with me as he moves down a little bit to the south. Okay, another scan goes down. NiteKat moving out. This is nothing to sneeze at. First Storm kind of whiffs. Second Storm, not bad, but that's not going to kill these tanks. Oh, that was quite a nice Storm on those Vultures, though. Clears almost the entire mass in front of him with that. Still not the best of trades, but at least we got that one juicy Storm at the end. And yeah, Kill A says NiteKat has the big critical mass. Absolutely. It's looking very frightening at this point. More Storms. Really good storm. Big storms. Is that enough to clean this up? Wow. This man is a legend. These storms are incredible. And a little bit of reinforcements here are going to come hold on to this base for a touch longer. I am shocked. I cannot believe that. Wow. This man does not give up. Warm round of applause for bed cover in this game. My goodness. Guys, I just want to remind you, this is the second game. If this goes to a tiebreaker after this, holy. Well, not mined out, but we really need to take this base and this base. Yeah. We are getting very light on resources, and Terran has secured the 12 o'clock position as well. 1, 2, 3, soon to be 4 mining bases. Oh, you were trying to find your workers here. Yeah, it can be rough, right? And we are now at the 35-minute mark in this match, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is the longest I've seen yet in NSL. What an absolute treat this has been. Thank you very much, everyone, for sticking with us and, you know, seeing these players really slug it out on this map. This has been insane so far. Yeah, 240 APM, man. That's impressive. I know at this point in the game, 36 minutes in, I wouldn't have 240 APM. Hell no. Okay, here we go. Terran moving across the map. Changes his mind on the direction he wants to go. How is Protoss going to respond? Fairly small army size, but a lot of storms on deck. Are we going to see the legend hold this off again? Let's see. Here we go. Here's the engagement. One an unfortunate storm in his own Templars, but there we go. That's a good one. Can we get any more off? Right, and it looks like Protoss has been repelled. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we do not miss the climax of this game. This game has dragged on so long, I must literally run another ad. We will be right back for NSL 6, Week 5, Apes per minute versus Just Desserts. In just one moment, we'll be right back. For those of you who are not seeing an ad right now, we are going to wait just a moment for the thrilling conclusion of this match. Again, thank you, Champion, very much for the sub. Very much appreciated. Thank you for supporting the stream. It's absolutely fantastic of you to do that. We're almost back. Another 20 seconds. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Terran has moved into a new position across the map, and Protoss is desperately vying for map control, trying to keep him from walking across and killing his bases. The Terran is moving up into position, slowly leap forwarding siege tanks up to the Protoss base. We're 50 supply ahead. NiteKat showing why he truly does wear his sunglasses at night. Our Protoss player is finally establishing these other two bases, but it might be too little too late. And we are at the 39-minute mark. Incredible. A few Terran siege tanks caught out of position, but NiteKat still holding strong in the middle of the base. This is not an easy engagement to take for Protoss. And we have to retreat here. That volley of siege tanks would have decimated those forces. And I like this, sacrificing vultures to pick off what Templar you can. I mean, we still have a huge number here, but even getting one or two is worth it in this scenario. Those storms have been just amazing this game. This is the scariest thing as a Protoss player. Just this image here. Oof. All right, the ridge is clear. Protoss, this might be our chance. Can we take position? Here we go. No siege yet. Really patient on the part of NiteKat. I like that a lot. Not sieging there and recognizing that Protoss is attempting to stall you even longer. Beautiful. Very well played. Nice EMP, right on target. I'm not going to point out that they already casted the spells. It was very nice EMP. Another Templar picked off. Big storms, big storms. Oh my god. Yo, I thought Stormgate wasn't out yet. I cannot believe the storms in this game. Look at this. Look at how many High Templar we have here. Okay, here we go. Let's see it. We got the clump on the ridge. Can we get them forward enough? Storm 1. Oh, we have to have it. Storm 2, but I think the volleys are going to start hitting the High Templar. There's nothing else left. It's just High Templar. Oh, and the massacre. Even after all of that and losing all of those, we still have 8 High Templar, 9 High Templar. Incredible. We need to get mining from these bases. We are out of resources. And I think we may finally be getting to the conclusion of this game. Our Protoss hero bed cover. He's not really mining, is he? At long last, we found them. They were lost in the desert for 40 years, but the probes were finally found. Unfortunately for them, they just walked into a base that scanned them all coming there. And here comes the pain train. Oh no. Oh no, split army from Protoss. This is a disaster. Storms, great storms, but it's not enough. And finally, after almost 43 minutes, GG is called, and NiteKat takes game 2. Incredible. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have one game left in NSL 6, Week 5. Apes per minute versus Just Desserts, Hyperion Tier 3. And before we get into that final game, we're going to run one final ad so we are not interrupted and we can see the thrilling conclusion of this matchup. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Are you ready? Game 3, NiteKat, first bed cover. Let's go. Spawning on the left side of the map. He's coming to tuck his opponent in this final game. It's bed cover. On the bottom right side of the map, we have our Terran hero, NiteKat. Let's go. Final game of the day. Yeah, NiteKat, I hate to break it to you, it's all AI generated, my friend. Crazy what technology can do. I mean, NSL just overall has produced so many amazing games, and you know, I'm really thankful that I've been able to take part and sort of help out with it here and there. It's been really cool. It's been a really fun experience for me, and thank you very much, everyone, for watching. It's been fantastic. Well, NiteKat, if you were playing throughout the day to, you know, sort of practice and warm up before your matches, after that last game, I gotta say, I think it paid off. I know I wouldn't have had the stamina to do something like that. That was an incredible game. Well, that's very kind of you, Escalade. Thank you so much. Oh, these guys are evenly matched for sure. Like, you don't get a game like that last game if there's a huge variance in skill. When two players are just, they're the perfect opponents for each other, that's when you get incredible StarCraft like that. Seriously, like, that was an amazing game. That was fantastic. Hats off to you guys. So we have our scout coming in here from our Terran hero. I hope there's a rematch of this match. Word. Unfortunately for Protoss, we are, looks like we're doing a bit of a gamble here and sending our Zealot around looking for something that doesn't exist. Not sure what we're searching for here. Second Zealot now. Shout out to Dragon and Wolfix for helping NiteKat practice. Both incredible players. It's always nice when some of the higher ranked players take the time to coach some of us plebs, you know, down here at the Anderson level. It's always really nice to see that. It's great for the community. And very unfortunately, he's going to see that Terran is not, in fact, in the top right position. CC going down for NiteKat. Bendecover saying that he practiced with Gabagoon and Inside Job. I recently practiced with Gabagoon as well for my NSL match that I just played a little bit ago. Great guy, Gabagoon. Shout out to Gabagoon. So we got the scout off as Terran. Even though we lost the SCV, we see that there's a robo here. Looks like it's going to be a shuttle, though, which might be a little bit unexpected now that we've lost our scouting SCV. Or do you simply assume, since you've lost that, okay, yes, I must get turrets? And it looks like that is the assumption that indeed was made. Sure, Esk, I'll make more emotes. Sounds great. I'll make more than just my face, my smiling face for social credit score. I'll make some new ones. No, I wouldn't do them AI generated for emotes. I'll probably draw them myself. Or I'll do like collage or something for them. I'll make them. NiteKat, thank you so much. You guys are too generous. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, guys. I don't know if that's going to change the outcome of the match. I don't think bribes work like that in the post-humorous sense, but I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for supporting the stream and NSL 6. Okay, mine's finishing up here for NiteKat. Second tank on the way. Got this vulture out on the map, so maybe we can place some cheeky mines for anything else coming across. But look at this, the shuttle has brought the units in. How do we respond? One tank. Second almost finished, and 3 Marines. This is a very difficult situation. And Bedcover subscribing too with Prime. You guys. Seriously. Thank you very much. So we're going to take a little bit of damage here as Terran, but 2 Goons, 2 Zealots. This isn't game ending, right? We do have the ability to defend this. 2 tanks, that is a lot of DPS. And NiteKat says, I didn't expect this elevator, I was thinking Reaver. I think that is generally what most people would assume, which is almost why this cheeky little play was a little bit more dangerous, wasn't it? I mean, turrets were just coming up. You didn't think you needed to have units in the base itself. Not yet, anyways. Yeah, for the 7-minute Reaver, absolutely. So now with 3 tanks here, this will get cleaned up. We'll lose a couple Marines, but with a little bit of micro, this will be done. Oh, here comes the Reaver and another Goon, though. We have to be careful. Don't lose the Reaver. A lot of hull damage. Nice shot. Oh, but he does pick off the Reaver. These tanks are injured, but there's not enough left over to take this out. Overall, a very nice trade for NiteKat. Shuttle speed now finished. So this can definitely continue too. I mean, we can just simply build Reavers all game now with Speed Shuttle. There's always going to be a little bit of a hole somewhere until we get to the ultra late game with hundreds of turrets kind of situation. I gotta turn off auto mod. I mean, I have it on the lowest setting, so I thought it would be okay, but it still blocks just ridiculous things. Alright, so after that initial little skirmish, we're slowing down a tiny bit here. More production is being added on the side of bed cover. And NiteKat, we're just keeping some units hovering in the main in case another poke comes in. Still got a little bit at the front to hold anything off. Nice little bit of Sim City, so we could react with this if we need to pull them over here quickly. Getting ourselves a little bit of information. Placing mines down at a potential expansion so we know what the plan of the Protoss is. Very nice overall from both players. Wow, NiteKat, my goodness, man. And shouts out to Love Snow. Getting that tier 1 sub from NiteKat, fantastic. That's okay, we're already on a hype train, bro. We're already on a hype train. Everyone here, you know why? Because we're watching StarCraft Brood War. We're watching NSL 6. We're watching the conclusion of bed cover versus NiteKat. Game 3. And what an incredible last 2 games we've had. Alright, so we've got the double Reaver. We've got a good healthy amount of Dragoons. And when we're on a lower unit count like this as Terran, double Reaver, that's frightening, right? A little bit of mistargeting if you don't focus your tanks on what comes out, and you have a smaller count like this, instantly dead. 2 Reavers, that'll take out a clump of siege tanks, no problem. So you gotta move forward very carefully. Looks like all we're doing is we're coming out, and look at this. This is what I'm talking about, 3 missile turrets. We need to be as safe as possible against this type of composition when we're coming out of our base. Protoss has cleared the mine here. They're looking to take a third as well. Now, this is a defensible position. This is a nice little setup, right? You feel relatively safe here, and especially as this observer gets taken out, that's going to feel very good. Okay, here comes the speed shuttle. Just going to pick off these guys making turrets, I think. Oh, little too slow on that one. One, two, 3 factories, and the third coming up. This is frightening. This is that situation that I was talking about. You have the smaller unit count like this, double Reaver, things can get bad very quickly. He's going to take this out to give him maneuverability so he can come around to the side here when the main engagement happens. And with the speed shuttle, I mean, you can micro like a god. It can be very difficult. We have some reinforcements coming up, and it looks like we're actually going to go for kind of a mass shuttle play. Interesting. That gives us 3 shuttles, and I wonder what the intentions are here. Zealot bombs, perhaps? Yo, what up, Jesus Whips? What's good, bro? that ash green? Have you been here the whole time, or did you just get here? Oh, you were on the TV, because I knew you wanted to see the Zerg match. Okay, so at this point for Terran, this is starting to feel a little safer. We have a good coverage of turrets, so we know that there's no incredible flank that's going to come from Reavers. A little bit of mines in front, and it's just Goon, right? We don't have Zealot here, so if this is pushed into with more stuff coming out and siege tanks in the back, we're going to be okay. Escalade, that's the prime efficiency there. Okay, so here we go. We have another Reaver joining the fray. So it looks like the plan is we're actually going to go mass Reaver in shuttles on top of our army. I like this. I want to see how this pans out. I mean, it's really going to come down to who has the incredible micro and who doesn't, right? This could go really good or extremely poorly. I don't see an in-between. Well, I mean, you're right. Bed cover, he does have a nice probe count, but Terran, we're on a comfortable 3 bases here. Right? We can just sit here. We are content to sit here like this. As we add more factories, get ourselves even more established. Second armory coming down. Sure, probes are all well and good, but siege tanks, bro. Okay, and Protoss looking to establish a 4th base and sort of transition into that full map control, as he'll then take this and this. I like this patrolling vulture here that's been going on for a while. That's cute. I like that a lot. Really doesn't cost you that much. It gives you a ton of information and delay. Here we go. How are we going to do with the Reavers? A forward position. The first one gets picked off immediately. No shots fired yet. Not an incredible engagement with the Reavers. But still, a lot of Protoss units here. Can we reduce this siege tank count? Nice D-Matrix. Another speed shuttle coming in, but it's empty. With the reinforcements here, this is getting thinned out. It's just Goon. Great mine. These are very, very hurt now. The USCV is going to come out, and that will be the end of this attack, likely. Well, we're still pushing forward. Some reinforcing vultures. Can we get some mines to help hold this off? Oh, the repair on that tank. Beautiful. Beautiful. Love seeing stuff like that. Very well played to NiteKat. And an incredible fight from bed cover, let's not forget, right? That was, like people in the chat are saying, that was very close to breaking the Terran's back. It was just held on by a little bit. And this is so smart too. This is something that a lot of people will forget to do. After a big engagement like that, re-add things like turrets. Don't forget this, right? This is still incredibly important. We're up to our 7 factories. And Protoss has their 4th established. We can see, though, that our Terran player here has really caught up in SCV count. Okay, a big wave of Zealots. Shuttles, I think also full of Zealots. We're going to bulldog our way to a victory here, or is our plan just to drop on top of this? Quite a bit of turrets. We're going to have to get those units out quick. Maybe accept the fact that we might lose the shuttles. We'll see what happens. Alright, well, Terran is moving across the map. How are we going to engage this? We only have 4 Dragoons. We are extremely Zealot heavy. +1/+1, but we have +2 for our Terran opponent. All right, here we go. It's going to come down to this engagement. Ooh, and these mines. Oh, so many mines. Oh, I hope he... Maybe he drags them in? I just hope we don't see a large explosion. Oh, no. Oh, please, no. Oh, that is so incredibly painful. If that hadn't happened, we might have had a chance here with the Zealots dropping on top, and we lost so many to those mines. Goons on the left-hand side, trying to reinforce this push. Are we going to have enough to break through? And it looks like just due to the positioning of these buildings here, we couldn't quite get everything engaging at once, and the siege tanks are starting to snowball. This might be lights out. The shuttles were emptied. And GG is called. NiteKat takes the series. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. It's that time. All right, everyone. That brings us to the conclusion of our cast. Thank you very much, everyone, for participating, for joining in, for your banter. I really appreciate everyone getting engaged, having fun, and supporting this Brood War community. Thank you very much to Cookie Master for putting on NSL 6. It has been an absolute pleasure. What an incredible 3 series we had today. Fantastic. Seriously, that was a treat. Thank you very much, everyone. And are we going to raid Nomad? Sure. All right, I'm going to send you over to Nomad. You guys enjoy. Thank you once again.